So in this particular equation, what form is it in? It's currently sitting in standard form. Okay, so it is standard form. And when things divide out nice, and you can real quickly find the x-intercept and the y-intercept, it is super easy to graph. All right, so I can take c divided by b, that works. C divided 9 divided by -3 gives me a -3 for the y-intercept. But can I take 9 divided by 8? No. All right, now what I had showed you earlier was, well, if we couldn't get the x-intercept, that was okay, it's no big deal. We could get the y-intercept, put the y-intercept on, and then we could use the slope, negative a over b, so -8 over -3, negative divided by negative gives you a positive, and then just run your slope. All right, however, in Math Excel, sometimes you're running up with 9 divided by 8 doesn't work. 9 divided by, maybe if that was a 4, that wouldn't work. Then you don't even have an x or a y-intercept. Okay, so the method I'm going to show you works all the time on any type of equation. It doesn't just have to be standard form. All right, there could be just some random jumbled mess here. All right, and if I basically solve the equation for y, I'm going to have slope-intercept form. All right, now let's review what slope-intercept form is. This slope-intercept form is what? Y equals, what's the rest of it? Slope-intercept form, y equals, very good, mx plus b. All right, so that is the slope-intercept form. So I need the y on the left-hand side by itself. I need the equal sign. Then I need the x term on the right, preferably in front. And then I need a plus b, or a plus a number. Okay, so right now, my y is already on my left. This x term needs to be on the right-hand side. I need to move it across the equal sign. When we solve an equation, you do what? Inverse operations. All right, so it doesn't matter that it's an 8x. Can I take 8x and go minus 8x from both sides of the equation? We've done that before. We've moved x's to the right and to the left. So I can minus 8x over here, and I can minus 8x over here. 8x minus 8x goes away. Okay, we've done that before. Now, what's left over here on the left-hand side of the equation? It's a negative 3y, so we can't drop that negative. So then I'm going to have a negative 3y. I'm going to have my equal sign. Now, I've got a 9 minus 8x. Are those like terms? They're not like terms. So I can't add or subtract those. All right, and I know I'm trying to get slope-intercept form. So if that's the case, should I put the negative 8x first or the 9 first? If I want it to look like this form, which one of these two terms should come first? Yeah, the negative 8. So I'm going to choose to write it as negative 8x, and then it's a positive 9, so plus 9. I'm really close to my mx plus b at this point. This does not match exactly because there's a negative 3 sitting in front of the y. All right, is there a number sitting in front of my y in y equals mx plus b form? No. So that means I got to get rid of the negative 3. It's negative 3 times y, inverse operations. What's the opposite of multiplying by negative 3? Dividing. So I can divide this by a negative 3. Now, the catch is you got to divide every term. So I divided this term, and they're going to cross out. I've got to divide this term by a negative 3, and I have to do it here. I've got to divide every place for it to be equivalent in doing it to both sides. Okay, now I'm going to have y here equals, all right, negative divided by negative, positive. So this is just going to be a positive. And can't I just go ahead and write it 8/3 as my coefficient in front of my x? So it's more likely for us to look like an mx. All right, and then what's a 9 divided by a negative 3?
She's not. Is she here? She's not.
She's not here. Negative 3, someone said. Okay, so minus 3. Okay, so negative divided by negative, I wrote that as a, so it looks like it's slope, a constant in front of that variable. 9 divided by negative 3, negative 3. All right, so do we have y equals a number, mx plus b? Another number. Are we in the right form? Yes. all right, you can do this to any equation, all right, because we all are really good at graphing a line in slope-intercept form, all right. I was trying to get you to use your x-intercept and your y-intercept when it was in standard form, and I want you to do that whenever you can. If they divide out easily and it's easy to graph it that way, do it that way. All right, but you also need to be able to take an equation, switch it into slope-intercept form, and then graph from here. All right, now, since we've got graph paper on there, let's go ahead and graph this equation. All right, which one of those two numbers do I start with? Do I start with the 8/3 or do I start with the -3? Start with the -3. Does it go on the x-axis or the y-axis? Y-axis. So I'm going to come over here to y-axis, go down to -3, put my first dot. All right, now the 8/3, that's my slope. So what's the two R words? Rise over run. So from here, I'm going to rise 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, am I going to run to the right or to the left? I'm going to go to the right because it's positive. So 1, 2, 3. And then there's my second point. All you need is 2 points on a line. All right, you can use the edge of your sticky graph paper for a ruler. I'm actually pulling out a ruler. There we go. Okay, so positive slope, yep, that type of line has a positive slope, correct. Y-intercept, correct slope there. All right, so that was just a review. We hadn't graphed slope-intercept form in a long time. Okay, pretty simple, straightforward. Anytime you get lost, just write y equals mx plus b, and then force the things into the right spot. Move terms to the right-hand side so that your x term's over there. When you choose to write them, write the x term first, write the constant second so that it matches the slope-intercept form. So does it seem pretty simple? I mean, we've solved equations with x on both sides of the equation. We've moved x terms from one side to the other. All right, so it's not really anything new. It's just showing you, oh, hey, we can manipulate standard form, turn it into slope-intercept form.